What down, family? It's your boy SNTV, back at y'all with another Chiraq Street Legends. And this episode is going to be about none other than Jonte Adams, aka Richway Tilla.
It's your boy Tilla. I just want to shout out my boy Street Newz TV. Give you your flowers, you feel me, while you here. You definitely one of the pioneers. Free you, long live Zach TV.
Tilla comes from that Ridgeway set, also known as BBMG, or Black Bag Murder Gang. They're also known as the West Side 600. They call 600 because they located on the 600 block of Ridgeway. They're CVLs, or conservative vice lords. You can find them on Ohio and Lawndale, Huron and Ridgeway, Huron and Lawndale, but their main block is on Ohio and Ridgeway. This is in the Humble Park neighborhood. They're clicked up with Ghost Mob and CPL. They beef with MMG, Chain Gang, Waddy Gang, but their main ops are the Simon City Royals, Oskino Gang, B Gang, and Baby T Blood Gang.
Spaz hiding. You woke up thinking about Pluto. I swear to God, I wake up, smoke his ass faithfully every day on blood. This man on my face, I smoke his ass every day. He's so fucking dead, it don't make no sense. Who that was, sure? He's so fucking dead, it don't make no sense. That nigga so dead. Shorty, all these woods I got in my pocket right now on blood, them gonna be smoking his ass. It's 6 woods in this bed. Yeah, 6 woods for every motherfucker that died on my baby. 6 woods for every motherfucker that died on my baby. You tell me, shut up, it's gold. Bro, I'm not on none of that, bro. I'm a good person. I don't do none of that, bro. You want to talk, what you trying to make the police join the live or something? What the fuck are you on, man? I'm finna block your ass. That's what I think I'm gonna do.
Tilla was basically born in the game, coming from a family that was in the game from when he was a youngster. He said in the interview that I seen him do that he walked the same streets as his father, and he also chose to indulge in some of the things that his father indulged in. When he was very young, his cousin K Paso left him blocks, so he was the one that was running the shorties. They would do anything that he told them to do. Tilla was like a chief.
Tell me about your relationship with your father. How were y'all growing up? How are y'all today?
I walked his shoes, and that's what we up here for. Time generation curses. Like my father walked the same block I walk.
So, Johnny,
yeah.
When you hear your son say he walked them same streets you walk, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel like I lost the battle, within this son, because I walked those streets. I was into the gangs. I was into the drug dealers. I was incarcerated for 5.5 years. That's 5.5 years that I lost of his life when he was little, because I didn't teach them that way. They was brought up in the church. I didn't want them to know that way. But yet and still, it goes back to how we as parents don't realize the things we think they don't see us. But they pay attention to every single thing we do. And when he told me in his hospital bed, when he got shot, he said, "Daddy, I watch you. I heard about it. This hurt me. This hurt me because he said, I watch you. I wanted the respect that you had in these streets, not knowing the price."
Straight up.
I paid the price of being incarcerated. I didn't lose my kids. I didn't lose them because I never bring that to them. He didn't know the consequence of being in that street. The streets don't love you.
Facts.
The streets don't love you like your family love you.
Tilla, Wop, Bully Bino, and Spaz were pretty much the faces of BBMG. In the early part of his life, Tilla was in the church, but then his father left his side and had to do some time in jail. This is when the streets would get a hold of him. And as early as 2012, Tilla had his own drug operation. They were operating on Ohio and Hamlin, and eventually the police would get in the mix, end up arresting him and 9 other members of the CVLs. Ridgeway is one of those sets that inherited a lot of beef from back in the day. The shorties just kept it going. They also ended up getting in a lot of beefs because of sets they were cool with, primarily Ghost Mob. Ghost Mob and 600 ended up being so cool because Tilla and a guy that went by the name of Chief Split were the oldest on both sides, and they were both looked at as big homies. They were also cousins. He ended up finding out real quick that the streets had no friends, and he took up the idea that the older guys didn't really give a fuck about him. He was out on the block hustling one day and ended up catching 4 shots in a situation that he said had nothing to do with him. Ghost Mob and Ridgeway would end up becoming inseparable, mostly because of family ties, and also because they were a part of the same organization, the CVLs. A couple guys that Tilla ended up being real cool with are very well known in the streets and are also considered street legends. One of those guys is Pluto 2 Times. Pluto 2 Times was a rapper and a Chiraq Street Legend. He was also the face of Ghost Mob and a well-known killer. Allegedly, Pluto had around 10 bodies. According to the streets, Pluto had something to do with a hit that took place in West Garfield Park in front of a store. 2 members from B Gang ended up getting killed and 1 member from Hood Rich. And after this, they placed a $20,000 hit on Pluto 2 Times, which would eventually end up getting him killed. After this hit, Richway and Ghost Mob would end up into it heavy with B Gang, and they were already into it with the Simon City Royals. It's been said that these are 2 of the most financially stable gangs on the west side of Chicago. All this will end up being a recipe for disaster for Richway and Ghost Mob.
Zoom in to the game, man. Zoom in. You know? Who the fuck said the C's ain't got no money? Who the fuck said all I do is kill people? Who said that? Who said that? Who
The
said
city
they
of
ain't got no
Chicago
money?
has seen thousands of wars, but I don't think it ever seen a war quite like the one that put Ridgeway on the map. Ridgeway would end up getting into it with the Simon City Royals when a guy that went by the name of TJ Jimenez won a $25 million lawsuit against the state for wrongful conviction. Jimenez would get out and he would begin to try to flip everybody on the west side.
What you is, nigga? What you is? Huh? You ain't shit? World, little bitch. Alright, this world's hood, homie. Ooh, I got thirsty. Niggas spooks. See y'all niggas spooks? See y'all niggas act when we right up on them? Y'all talking that shit. Promise you that bitch ass nigga was something. Wasn't no fucking neutron. Y'all was talking about beating up on neutrons. We was beating up on neutrons. Big homie was got socked the fuck up. Why should I blast you right now? Why should I blast your pussy ass? Huh?
The war between Ridgeway, or the CVLs, and the Simon City Royals, or No Love Money Gang, will prove to be a fatal one, as 19 people will end up being shot and 4 of them end up being killed. The city will begin to notice Ridgeway, because if you can go to war with a gang that's worth $25 million, then you can go to war with anybody. This will begin to get them notoriety in the city, and a lot of people will begin to look up to them. You can only imagine what $25 million can do. That's a whole lot of money. With that money, TJ was able to flip most of the travelers off Trumbull into Simon City Royals. He was also able to flip other members from other parts of the city. TJ was trying to take over the whole west side, and whoever stood in his way, he was gonna give him smoke.
TJ gave you 10 grand, would you have taken it?
Hell no. Loyalty, man. We loyal over here, man. I'm loyal to what I know, man. $1,000 ain't no damn money.
Just like he
Hell
said.
no.
A car ain't nothing. I'm used to that shit.
We got that. Nigga ain't no motherfucking no roy. You get your bitch ass on. Fuck out of here. Ain't no motherfucking flip.
Yeah.
They not loud up here.
Them niggas is not from around here. Hey, look, Chicago Avenue did not flip Royals. That was some young dumb motherfuckers.
These motherfuckers for none of that. They manipulated the youth and brainwashed them. So they not from up here. They manipulated some youth like 16,
They tried to
17
take the
year olds.
neighborhood from the people that stayed in the neighborhood, but the people in the neighborhood went for that. None of that. You feel me?
If you come by here with the R on your face now, what would that do?
We gonna beat his ass.
Yeah, they still
I don't know about dying or nothing, but we gonna beat his ass until he damn near dies.
They gonna die. They gonna die.
That's why they ain't around no more. Them bitches is stink.
He gone. They gone.
The money gone. You know how it go. You know how.
Yeah.
They try to take from Homan to St. Louis to Chicago Avenue, but they not from around here. We from around here.
Yeah.
They ass with some 17-year-olds. They was some 17-year-olds.
On July 14th, 2014, Martin Satterfield was up the first to be shot. He would end up getting shot right on Ridgeway's block. And even though the bullets wouldn't kill him, they would paralyze him. On September 28th, 2014, Keon Ford was also hit. He was hit on the block of Huron, which was allegedly an NLMG block at the time. This was supposed to be retaliation for Satterfield. On September 30th, 2014, Shondell Adams was hit on the same block that Satterfield was. Only this time, Shondell Adams would end up passing. He would become the first in a long-fought war. This war actually lasted about a year and a half. DeMarcus Nelson, aka Rambo, would end up being hit on Huron only hours after the death of Adams. The war was on. A couple more people were shot and wounded, 3 to be exact. And Oskino, a well-known member that ended up flipping Simon City World from Traveler, who is said to have gotten killed by the Travelers, also passed. But in November, a well-known member by the name of Ty, or Tyrus, ended up being killed on the 700 block of St. Louis. The war wouldn't last too much longer after this, because TJ would end up going to federal prison for shooting a guy in the leg on Facebook Live.
Why should I blast you right now? Blast me, nigga. Hey, bro. Why should I blast your pussy ass? Nigga, you my brother, man. I ain't got nothing against you, man. Why would you do that?
Like I said before, the war between Ridgeway and the Simon City Royals was like none other seen in the city. Why? Because the Royals had access to $25 million. And according to sources, it was like something out of a movie, because a lot of times when they would slide, they would be in bulletproof Benzes and Hummers. At this point, Tilla had been through everything the streets had to offer, from getting shot over 10 times to going to jail. But there was nothing that could prepare him for what was about to happen. On April 18th, 2021, Tilla will receive a call from his daughter telling him to come pick her up and take her to McDonald's. On this day, she wanted to get something to eat for her and her cousins. Tilla would get himself together and head on over to her auntie's house to pick her up. When Tilla arrived, to his surprise, his daughter wasn't outside. He would end up circling the block a few times, waiting on her to come out. When Jaslyn finally came out, she got in the car and they headed to McDonald's on Roosevelt Road. About 10 minutes later, they were entering the McDonald's parking lot. By the time they approached the speaker to order their food, Tilla would notice a car speeding through the exit. By the time he realized what was going on, it was already too late. He looked in front of him and there was a car parked in front of him ordering his food, and a car full of shooters was stopping back of him, blocking him in. 2 guys would hop out and fire over 50 shots. The first bullet would hit Tilla in the spine. As the shooting was going on, he could hear his little girl screaming, "Daddy, Daddy." Tilla would try to get away, but he was unsuccessful. When all the smoke cleared, Jaslyn Adams was shot 6 times. She died on the scene.
Hey, pretty.
I see my daughter face down in my car. I will never forget those. I want my daughter's killers locked up. I have a bullet in my spine. Like my left leg temporarily probably paralyzed. Yeah, I'm in a lot of pain. On top of watching my daughter take her last breath. It seems like it's more press on me than the people who killed my baby. That's even making me hurt more.
If I say this what it is, this what it is, and y'all know been on that. I mean, as long as y'all been following me on social media, bro. Like, you know. So this just something I have to stand in. And like when once y'all fools really understand, y'all see what I say. This ain't justice for Pinky, not Jonte, like, you know, like, so understand, like, you feel me? I've been shot. I have 11 holes in my body. And not just from this occasion. Like, not just from this occasion, bro. Like, literally 18 months ago, I just got shot in the elbow. Neck shot came out through this arm over here. I got distal fractures, radial fractures. This arm stuck at a 90-degree angle. I got skin in my leg prior to this, like almost 2 years ago type. And I ain't even said a word. I didn't get no faces. I ain't get no descriptions, because that was the rules. Them was the rules, you know? That's what I signed up for. I ain't told on no. Got shot in 2011. 4 gunshots in both of my legs. I ain't told on no. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it had to involve me or stuff I partake in, like, I held myself accountable for all my actions. I always held myself accountable for all my actions. Like, for real. The game code, but it's fair if you play by the rules. And for y'all to say, like, okay, what's the rules, bro? If not kill kids was one of the rules, and they broke that means all rules are off. You damn Skippy, I want justice for my daughter. Like,
after Jaslyn's death, a member of Baby T Blood gang that goes by the name Otto got on the internet and did what youngsters these days do. Allegedly, they got the loan Tilla because he cashed in on a PPP loan. And when you cash in on a PPP loan, your address becomes public information. About a week later, Otto would end up being caught on 290. He would get in a chase with police and crash his vehicle, hop out, and try to carjack a car full of civilians. After this, he would get boxed in and apprehended by police. When the police got him, they said 2 of the guns that he had matched the guns that was used in the hit on Tilla and his daughter. Otto would end up facing at least 18 charges, including vehicular hijacking, attempted murder, and first-degree murder. The other 2 guys involved would go on the run, but eventually they would get caught as well. Allegedly, Otto was the driver, and the other 2 got out and shot. They're in the county right now, facing these charges. And I think that what we can learn from the story of Tilla and the Westside 600 is this. A lot of times, we don't really understand how dangerous our lifestyle is. We ride around nonchalant, thinking that nothing's gonna happen. When in reality, we got people looking for us to do stuff to us. One thing about the universe never misses, and you will reap what you sow. A lot of times, you suffer the consequences for your own actions. But sometimes, it could be someone near or dear to you, one of your loved ones or one of your friends. that can pay the price for your lifestyle and your actions. That's why we should strive to do good whenever we can. And another thing, a lot of people were saying that Tilla was wrong for insinuating that he was going to involve the police in the situation and saying that he wanted justice for his child. Whether that's right or wrong, I can't say. But what I can say is, nowadays it's the wild, wild west. Back in the day, the creed was, if someone did something as careless as kill a child, they wouldn't have to worry about the police because their gang or organization will handle it themselves. These days, it's just run and gun, the wild, wild west. And when rules are broken, more rules are broken. This has been another episode of Chiraq Street Legends. Shout out to my boy Tilla for changing his life. Rest in peace to Jaslyn Adams. It's your boy, SNTV.